Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As you all know, I have been teaching and publishing a lot of YouTube videos on test automation concepts by using traditional tools like Selenium, Cypress, and so on. And also, I've been publishing a lot of YouTube videos on low-code, no-code platforms like Tricentis Tosca, Catalan Studio, and Keysight, Eggplant tools, and so on. So from couple of sessions onwards, I've started teaching you the very trending topic, generative AI, AI based tools, AI agents. As part of these sessions, I've started publishing the YouTube videos on generative AI based test automation tool called testRigor. I've already published my lesson 1. I would recommend you guys to visit the lesson 1 before you proceed with this particular lesson. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you. This is our lesson 2 where we are going to get started with our generative AI based test automation tool called testRigor. I'm going to give you a high level understanding of this testRigor test automation tool, and then I'm going to show you a quick tour of this test automation tool, what are all the different options that are available for test automation. So here is our agenda item. As soon as you log in by using your credentials, you'll be landing onto create TestSuite page. So I'm going to show you how can we create TestSuite and what are all the different options that are available, and then I'll take you through the quick tour of testRigor where I'm going to discuss about the profile and resources and what are all the different test suite options that are available and how can you create shared suites, and then how you can create reusable rules, or how you can create reusable functions, or how you can create reusable test blocks in testRigor, and then how can you use the module called test data, and how can you integrate your test suites with CI/CD integrations, and what are all the different options that are available in settings of your testRigor, and then how can we create the test cases in testRigor. So now let us jump onto the system and get started with our generative AI based test automation tool called testRigor. So as I told you in my lesson 1, we have already registered with our trial version of testRigor, and I have already logged into my testRigor account. So if you see on the screen, on the right side, it is asking you to create a new test suite, and in the left side, you can see one test suite is already available. I have created this test suite before our session itself. That's why you are seeing one existing test suite. In your case, the left pane will be empty. So now we can start creating a new test suite. So when you are creating a new test suite, you need to provide your test suite name, type of testing that you would like to perform. Is it like desktop web testing, mobile web testing, native and hybrid mobile testing, or native desktop testing, or mainframe testing, right? So you can select any one of them. That means testRigor supports all these types of testing. We already discussed in our lesson 1. So now, and then you need to provide the URL of your system under test. And then if you want to provide username and password for logging into your application, you can provide the same credentials here. And what is the operating system that you would like to use? You can select Ubuntu, Windows, or OS X, right? And then here you can also select the browser on which you would like to run the test cases, either Chrome or Firefox. And then number of test cases to generate using AI. So what do you mean by this? If you want to generate the number of test cases like 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 and 200, if you select the number of test cases, let's say 25 select that. So that means testRigor tool by default generates 20 test cases by using AI capabilities with the help of the URL that you provided in this particular section. It automatically explores the entire web application and generates critical 20 test cases by default. If I select the number of test cases as 200, as soon as you create TestSuite, it starts creating the test cases by analyzing the web application. So this is the AI capability that testRigor is having. So now let us create a test suite. Let me name this as Orange HRM Smoke Suite. Type of testing, I'm going to use desktop web. And what is the URL? I'm going to paste the URL of my system under test. So this is my system under test. And then I don't want to provide any test credentials here. What is the operating system? I would like to select Windows. And what is the browser? I would like to use Chrome browser. I have Edge and Firefox also. It automatically detects what are all the browsers that are available on Windows machine. I'm going to select Chrome. And here I don't want to generate any test cases because I'm going to create my own test cases so that you will understand how can you prompt the plain English language to automate your test cases. And then now let us click on create test suite. So before you click on create test suite, let me take you through the advanced settings. So these are our advanced settings. If you scroll down here, you can provide basic HTTP authentication. This will be used in your organizations. And these are the proxy settings. And then speed optimization. So this you might have used any traditional automation concepts like Selenium, Cypress, or you also used in no-code, low-code platforms, right? So where you'll be providing maximum wait time, maximum wait timeout, and what is the maximum wait timeout for conditional searches, what is the maximum page load time seconds, which is 60 seconds, what is the maximum file download time. So these are all the settings that you can provide here. And then error detection. So there are some settings that you can perform before you create the test suite. And also integrations. If you want to integrate any external systems like Jira, Azure DevOps, Cucumber Studio, phone provider, TestRail, right? Zephyr, all these integrations you can perform for this particular test suite. And also test generation. So you can use this option to generate AI-based test cases. And then settings. So there are some general settings like screen resolution, how to take screenshots, right? All these general settings also can be configured at test suite level. Now let us collapse general settings and go back to our test suite section. And here I'm going to click on create test suite. All the advanced settings I'm keeping as default. So these advanced settings you can access while creating the test suite, or once you create the test suite and you can go back to the settings page and you can modify the settings. I'm going to show you shortly. So now let us create test suite. So here you can see test suite is created. So you can see you directly landed onto your test suite. You can see the test cases are 0 because I have not added any test cases. You can access all test suites by navigating to test suites. So here you can see there are 2 test suites that are available. My first test suite I have created before session, and this is the test suite that we created during session. Click on this test suite. So as I told you, our test case count is 0. If you want to add a test case, you can click on add test case. That I'm going to show you how to add the test cases and how to create the test cases in our next session. So before that, let me give you a quick walkthrough of this particular testRigor tool so that it will become very easy for you from the next lesson to create or to automate our test cases. So if you see here, this is my profile. If you click on your profile, you can see the profile company API tokens. You can create your API tokens to integrate with other tools. Change password, right? Find a job, my invitation, logout. And then very important option is resources. You can see the documentation link. As soon as you click on documentation, you'll be landing onto the documentation. I've showed you in my first lesson. So if you go to basic commands right here, so these are your basic commands. Action click. So to perform click operation, you can prompt a plain English language like click cart. Click on the third hello 5 times. And also you can specify middle click on third hello. Click cart icon using AI. That means you can also click on the icon itself. You need not to specify the text on the icon, right? And also long click on third hello. And then if you see here, click on image from stored value logo. Press home, click home, press home button, click home button. And also if you scroll down here, and then you can also perform the validations. So if you scroll down here, validation. So you can see here, these are all the different validations that we can perform. You can perform validation of the properties or content of an element on the page. You can find something on your screen or page. You can perform visual validations. You can perform downloaded file validations, audio validations, video validations, email validations, SMS validations, right? All these validations you can perform by providing plain English language prompts. If you want to do a full page validations, you can use all these prompts. Check the page return code is 404. Check that the page title is testRigor documentation. If you want to perform any specific element validation, you can use all these prompts. So if you scroll down here, you can see check that element color is so and so. Check that checkbox, keep me sign in checkbox is checked, and stop test if fails. If this checkbox is checked, then it continues. If checkbox is not checked, then your test case is going to fail. So you can validate specific element properties as well, right? So I would recommend you guys to visit my previous video to go over all the documentation related information. Let us come back to the tool again. So under resources, you have documentation. You can raise support tickets. You can have question and answers. You can find release notes and Chrome extension also. So we need to install this Chrome extension to start automating your test cases. That is very important. I have not installed yet. We are going to do this in our next lesson, where we are going to start automating our first test case. And then you can also do certification related courses, and there is a training and tutorials also available. And then now under test suites, you have multiple options at the left side pane. Okay, so here you can see authentication, where you will be providing authentication related information. You have my requests, and then last run, it will show you the errors. You can see the reports. You can also see the tree view of your test run. Currently I have added only home screen because I have provided the URL. And then what is the capture data that it can show you, and then it also shows you the historical report of your previous runs. You can select the date range to see your historical reports. And then shared suites. So this is very important. What do you mean by shared suites? Test cases, test data, and reusable functions or rules can be shared between test suites by the concept of inheritance. A child suite will inherit from the parent, and it can override the data if desired. So if you see here, this is my parent suite. I have not selected any parent suites. let's say if I select a parent suite as first sample test suite, and you can select what are all the options that you would like to inherit from this particular parent suite. You can inherit test cases, you can inherit test data, or you can inherit rules. So that means from this parent suite, you can inherit test cases, test data, and rules to your child suite. And then reusable rules. As I told you in earlier session, what do you mean by reusable rules? Is nothing but reusable functions or reusable test step blocks. Simple example is login. So login is a reusable function. So you can create a rule for the login so that you can use this login reusable rule wherever you want, in any test case you want. Okay, and then test data. So you can create the global variables under test data, and also you can create the data sets. How we are going to create the global variables and data sets, I'm going to show you in our upcoming lessons. And then you have a CI/CD integrations. So you can perform integration with your CI/CD tools like Jenkins, Azure DevOps, and so on. And then there is another section called settings. These settings are same settings that I have showed you while creating your test suite. You can access the settings here also. I already selected my test suite, and you have general settings, authentication settings, proxy settings, speed optimization, where I have showed you wait times. You can select different types of wait times, and error detection, integrations, test generations, advanced settings. So you can basically change your settings even after creating the test suite. So, and then if you scroll down again, you have a resources, documentation, community tests, support tickets, and all we already discussed here, right? So these are all the different options that are available in testRigor. So hope you all understand the quick tour on testRigor. So in my next session, we're going to start automating the test cases by using plain English language. It's really interesting, and you can automate many number of test cases within short time. So I'm going to show you how can we do that in my next lesson. If you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Thank you. Hope you all understand the concepts of today's lesson, where I have given a quick walkthrough or a quick tour on testRigor. What are all the different options that are available in testRigor? So in my upcoming lesson, I'm going to teach you how can we automate the test cases by using a plain English language prompting. And there are a lot of interesting features that are available in testRigor, which we are going to discuss in our upcoming lessons. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you.